Hello everyone, this is Alauddin. This video has absolutely nothing to do with Islam or religion. I wanted to record this for a dear friend of mine to help them sleep, and I thought I might as well post it here too. If you would like me to start a second channel specifically for reading stories, please let me know in the comments below. Today I'll be reading submissions under a post on the subreddit called Writing Prompts, where users write a short story based on the prompt or premise of the post. Today's prompt is, the cute girl on the subway can't seem to stop staring at you. This would be great, except that her clothes are several centuries out of date. No one else seems to be able to see her, and you haven't seen her blink, not even once. Here's a submission by user Rupert Frogington. She sat opposite to me, this curious girl. She wore a pleated green skirt, part folded beneath her, part bunched up on her lap. Her cream blouse matched a cream hat complete with a backwards angled feather. She was almost too well put together for a New York hipster, but what else could she be? We'd been watching each other for a while as we chugged along beneath the city. I'd glance away, but when I'd return, drawn back by the charming outfit and pretty face, she'd still be looking at me. I wanted to say, hi. I wanted to say something cheesy, to tell her that she had a real timeless beauty about her. Classy. And she'd say, what took you so long to come over and say that? I'm nervous, I'd admit. I'm not usually good at this. Even when I really like someone, I find it hard to strike up a conversation. Usually I'd miss my chance. 10 out of 10 times I'd miss it. But somehow with you, it was different. She'd tilt her head just slightly. How? I don't know, I'd say. I guess I just knew that I couldn't let you get off this train without saying something. The train jerked to a halt. The doors hissed, passengers left and passengers boarded. Coffee and sweat swilled the air, mixed with sharp, aggressive aftershave. Men in pale brown suits sat either side of her, and she suddenly looked like a patch of grass in a growing desert. She had beautiful green eyes with flakes of brown, like copper that had been left out and weathered over many years, so that a thin layer of patina had formed over them, a hint of a long history. She never blinked. For all the time I watched her, she never blinked. I'm glad you did, she'd say. I mean, that I'm glad that you came and said hi to me. Oh yeah? I'd reply, suddenly cool, suave. I'd vaulted over my initial fears and landed in the confident territory that I always knew waited on the other side. Of course, she said. I don't just stare at anyone, you know. I don't come talk to just anyone. Aren't you going to ask about my outfit? Why would I? It suits you. What else is there? I'm out of time, she'd say, like a confession. Out of time? I'm off at the next stop. Next time, don't wait so long. My stop would still be a while away at that point, but I take my chance for once. I tell her this is my stop too, or at least today it is. My mind fast forwards through our first date. A night, an opera, and she's dressed as she is. Just right. Just perfect. And I don't even like the opera, or at least I don't think I would. But I love it that night. Our second date is drinks. A third is bowling. She asks me about kids, and I think that I've never wanted them before, but the weird thing is, maybe I'm changing my mind. She laughs. She says that's a question for the future. Don't worry. We're at the start of something long. An adventure. I looked away from her. My cheeks were burning. Why? I wondered. Was she really looking at me? I wanted to say hi more than I wanted anything else in the world. And what would it cost me to say hello? But what if she was just looking at something on me? Was she looking in judgment? Unable to tear her eyes away from my acne or my bad hair day or anything else. Her eyes lured by some freakishness she'd discovered that I hadn't even known about myself. We pulled to another stop. The girl got up, straightened her dress, and she flashed me a last smile. I managed to smile back, but nothing else. And then she was gone. I imagined running after her, almost falling out onto the platform, shouting, "Hey, wait a minute. Can we talk just for a minute? We might miss something good if we don't. Then the door shuts. The train pulls away. This is a submission by DR4, Gonbul4, Z3R. A girl like this shouldn't exist. Well, yes, she was pretty, beautiful in the way an esoteric romance novel from 200 years ago would have described. All snow-white skin and raven hair and plum-red lips. Part of it was the attire. She was in the subway. I've seen my fair share of outfits, from criminally underdressed to heat-strokingly overdressed. I've still not seen anything like this. A dress with a skirt so large that it looked like a clock tower bell. Folds upon folds of fabric cascaded over each other, white and red combining into a waterfall of color. She sat more upright than the standing pole in front of her, and she stared at me. Oh, with such intensity did she gaze. Even when I closed my eyes and reopened them. Either she wasn't blinking, or we timed them very well. Either way, her eyelids did not flutter even once. Her brown eyes were almost leering, as if daring me to make a move. I knew I was the only one looking, because my eyes could not help but be drawn to this sight out of history. Yet everybody else walked past. Some even went through her skirt, which all but confirmed my suspicions. And still, I looked. It was surpassing beauty. It was morbid curiosity. It was a combination of both that siphoned the rationality from me, inducing near delirium in my mind. The train stopped at where I was supposed to get off. I let it pass, just to sit there, quietly. Slowly, the carriage emptied, drops of water escaping the tap. Then it was just the two of us. "You don't blink," I said. "That's what's been cooped inside for years, get you. The loss of anything related to social skill." "I don't think I'm supposed to," she said, bashful cheeks turning pink. I muttered. "Sorry, you are really beautiful." I lost my train of thought just then. "It's no problem," she whispered. "This train is a strange experience, especially for those that recently got here." I squirmed, nervously mashing my fingers together. "Pardon? I've taken this train for a decade now. I swear I've seen everybody at least twice, but you, I've never seen you in my life." "Oh, not your life," she laughed. "I passed very long ago." "Strange," I said. "I passed by my stop very long ago as well." "You did?" she smiled. "Are you prepared?" "Prepared? Prepared for what?" "To step off the train," she said. "We've got this far. The train will be retired soon, but it's been running and running. It deserves a break." "It deserves a break?" "Yes," said the girl. "It only comes out when there are a lot of passengers to ferry, but its job is nearing the end, it seems. Not quite, but soon." "A lot of passengers? Then why is there just you and me here?" "I'm here to guide you," she said, unblinking eyes smiling. She reached out a gloved hand towards me. "This is no regular train." As if on cue, it pulled into a grinding stop, a high-pitched whine suffusing the air. "Come," she continued, "let's go. We need to get off at this stop." "This isn't where I'm supposed to get off," I said. "Oh," she giggled. "Welcome to your new existence. You'll get used to it." The following is a submission by the user TwitBookSpacetube. This girl in fancy Industrial Revolution era attire was definitely out of place, but nobody seemed to notice. She's clutching some kind of handbag on her chest and seems to be silently sobbing as she stares, unblinking, at me. I want to go over and ask what is the matter, but something feels off. Why am I the only one that seems to notice her, and why does she never blink? The train pulled up at my stop and the woman followed me, the doors closing right on her, but she just walked right through them. I start to panic as I walk home with her following. What if this is a vengeful spirit from forever ago seeking to right a wrong? What if they want to steal my soul to return to the mortal world? What if they want to drag me to their world for murder purposes? What if... She's gone. I don't feel any different. At least, I think I don't. Must be the stress getting to me. I'll go home and have a drink to relax, then that woman will never worry me again. As I sat down with a beer in hand, there she was, on the couch next to me, still clutching that handbag. You can see me, can't you? Her voice was smooth yet piercing. All I could do was nod. So you are the destined one. She put her handbag in my lap. Open it, she demanded. I opened the bag and saw a letter and a box. I grabbed the letter. If you are reading this, then you are the key to lay this wayward soul to rest. You must go to your workplace with this box, place it under the stairs on the second floor, then clap 3 times. This will activate the box and provide closure. Once this is done, you will be handsomely rewarded by this woman's mortal agent. So if I do this, you can move on? Yes, it has been far too long. The following is a poem by John Wolfe. There once was a ghostly ghoul. She sat on the train on a stool. Her hair was a mess from her afterlife stress, but her features were calming and cool. I told her a kiss would be fun, and offered a sip of my rum. I pondered her frown until I looked down and saw that my fly was undone. Thanks for listening. I hope that it was a pleasurable experience. Like I said, if you would like to hear more, let me know in the comments. I might start a second channel for this, and if it does well enough, I might put in more effort to curate some of the stories or add some sound effects and so on. As always, think critically and think for yourself. That doesn't quite fit today, but I don't know how else to end this.